And hi everyone, I'm Andrew. I'm today's host for the meditation. And before we start it, I'll just go through briefly of our online session etiquette. First, I would like to thank everyone to join our online session. And we are Heart Chant Meditation. It's a nonprofit, non-religious spiritual practice. And if you want more information about us, you can join us on www.heartchant.org. And for today's session, please find a quiet place for attend the session. And our session will be 3 parts. The first, it will be instructor for the class, and the second part will be meditation question. There will be 20 to 30 minutes, and then after this, we will have guided meditation, and then after the guided meditation, there will be silent meditation. And if you, once the guided meditation was ended, you can meditate as long as you want. And then if you want to, and then our session will end at 9 o'clock. And if you want to leave before that, 9 o'clock Central Time. If you want to leave before that, please make a silent exit. And then finally, we ask you to do not record, do not record any of our session. And then during the Q&A part, if you have any question, we will prefer you to send us your question via the chat function. And if you really prefer to ask a question, and then please ask me to unmute your microphone. All right, today's instruction is Loren. So Loren, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, can everyone, I think you need to put the camera on me maybe? Or can you, okay, so now you can see me. Can everyone see me? I don't know if everyone can see me here. Let's see. Okay, so you guys can see me. Can everyone hear me? Yes, okay, I guess I'll just keep the chat on in case. Okay, is there anyone who can't see me or hear me? Well, I'm a little bit dark. All right, let me, I'm gonna turn on the light because I think it's a little dark. Okay, that's a little bit better, I guess. Okay, good evening. Good to see you guys. Well, not see you. So I was asked to lead one of these classes by our group. So this is the first time that I've done this, so I hope that everyone can see me and hear me well. If there are any technical difficulties, please go ahead and put them in on the chat. Andrew, our host, will be going through that, and he will be giving the questions over to me. I actually cannot see anyone. Everybody is muted, and everybody is blacked out so that we don't see each other. Not that that matters, but you know, sometimes it might. Okay, so like Andrew was saying, the class is going to be in 3 parts. The first part, I will share my perspectives or how I got involved with this practice. And then after that, I will go ahead and go through the meditation techniques, the way to sit, the way to breathe, other things. And then after that, after I'm done with that, we'll go ahead and have some questions. So you can ask some questions about whatever you want. You can ask specific questions about the meditation techniques that I'll be showing you, or really anything else. If there might be some questions that I don't have the answers for, and if I don't have the answers for them, then I will pass them on to the rest of the group, and we will get an answer. So I started Chan meditation in, I believe it was the year 2000 or 2001. So I've been doing it for a long time. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm, a master at it, because I'm far from it. It just so happens that I've been involved in it for quite some time. I actually got interested in it, ironically, through architecture. I am an architect, and I was touring a building, and I saw an advertisement for Zen meditation, which I was interested in the philosophy and history of Zen. I knew nothing about meditation, nor was I interested in meditation. I thought the class was going to be a lecture class, so it sounded interesting to me, and so I went. And this was at the University of Houston downtown, and our teacher was Pei Fong at that time. She was coming down from the University of Denton to teach every 2 weeks. So in that first class, there were about 10, 12 people. It was pretty good. And we just all sat down and we meditated. So I was pretty surprised, because I was expecting a lecture class and instead ended up in a meditation class. So we sat down. I honestly don't have that much of a memory of the class. All I can remember is meditating for maybe 10 minutes or so. I sort of remember enjoying it, but I really was just kind of ambivalent about it, but I felt something. I know that the teacher specifically asked me if I felt anything, and she didn't ask anybody else. That was Pei Fong, so maybe she felt something. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I continued to go. And for the most part, she was having the classes every 2 weeks there. And it was just really her, myself, and Diego, who at the time was her boyfriend. And so really it was just the three of us most of the time. Sometimes other people would come and they might stay for one lesson and then they would leave. So we kind of got used to that, and I just kept on going. And I don't exactly remember at one point I really started to feel better physically or mentally. It probably just happened instantly at that first lesson, but it's just kind of hazy, the whole thing. So I continued going to the class, and luckily we were able to have those for a while. And then we had a student from, I think, China, who was going to Rice University and getting her PhD. So I think she's from Taiwan, actually. I can't remember. At Chenying, it's been a while. And so we were able to have classes at Rice University on a weekly basis, and she was the teacher. And, these were very nice classes. Rice is a wonderful facility. We also started having retreats, annual retreats. The first retreat, I believe, was in the year 2000. I did not go to that one. I did go to the one in 2001, and all the subsequent retreats, including this past one, this past Christmas. So I've been to quite a lot of retreats, probably over 20. So this has been a yearly thing for me. Now we have them twice a year. So now I have them. I go twice a year. But the retreats were great. I've always enjoyed those. Really good chance to get deeper into the practice. So I go to those yearly, but I continued the classes with Chenying for a few years, and we had a nice little group. And we were able to have some retreats there at Rice. We had 2 there, which was really nice because since it was an actual club, we had Rice students in there. They gave us money, so we were able to afford food and all that stuff. So it was really, really, really nice. So Chenying graduated and she went back to Taiwan. I think she's in Taiwan now, quite a few years ago. So I don't really have a class here, or people whom I meditate with. I would like to get a class started here in Houston, but it hasn't been easy. So for the most part, I end up just meditating by myself on a daily basis. So this is really nice to be able to connect with people, even though it is on the computer. It's not person to person, which obviously would be better, but still, this is good. So, like I said, so I just continue to meditate by myself. I try to meditate for 1 hour daily. That seems like a long time. Sometimes it is difficult to carve out that time. Certainly when I'm working, I'm a school teacher, so when I'm in school, it's extremely difficult to carve that time out, but I try my best. And now, being that I am at home, obviously it is a lot easier to find the time to meditate. So this is a really good opportunity for everyone to do this practice. For beginners, this is a great time to begin because you can really do it easily daily. Everybody should have that time. And of course, for those of us or those of you who have been doing it for a little bit longer period of time, then it's the same thing for us. I mean, we're still learning, but it's just easier to do it. So yeah. So I think that sort of brings us to what meditation is. So our practice dates back to the first, Shakyamuni Buddha was, of course, the first to begin the practice of meditation, or at least in, I guess, historical culture. So we are not Buddhist. This practice is non-denominational. It's not a religious practice. Of course, I'm Jewish, and it fits right in with Judaism. Fits in with all the religions because it is non-religious. What we're really just trying to do is just to get more in touch with the self. Day to day, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we come home and our minds are racing, or if you're like me, your mind is racing throughout the day. So it's important to take some time and calm yourself down. And when you calm yourself down, you can really start to see things with a better, clearer lens, so to say. It's hard to manage the day if your mind is racing all the time. And the world is so fast, and we are all encouraged to do as much as we can, that I think we find it difficult to just take some time for ourselves and to just sit and do nothing. So meditation really isn't doing nothing, because you are actually doing something. It is an active practice. I often, when I ask people or encourage people to meditate, I always or often hear a response of, well, I can't sit still, or I can't clear my mind. That, my mind is racing when I close my eyes and try to meditate. And that is okay. That is actually exactly the way that it is supposed to be. We're not here, or your meditation practice is not, the aim is not to block out thoughts. A lot of people believe that, but that is actually not true. What we're trying to do is let thoughts go. So as the thoughts come into our head, into our mind, what you want to do is just breathe and let them go. I'll get into a little bit more detail about that, but I want people to understand that the challenge is not to block thoughts out. And the challenge is actually just to focus on your breathing. And if you focus on your breathing long enough and slow enough, the thoughts will go away. So when we're meditating, you don't want to block out thoughts. You don't want to attach to thoughts. So if you're sitting and trying to meditate and all of a sudden you hear a noise outside, that's okay. Just, acknowledge it and then just let it go. I think the best analogy is like clouds. Clouds come by, you see them, you acknowledge them, you might, identify them, what type of cloud it is, and then you just let it go. And then if another cloud comes, well, you just let that one go by. So the longer that you meditate, the longer that you can do this, and then eventually you're going to reach a point where your mind is settled. So this is a challenging thing. Meditation is full of countless challenges. There's the body that we have to overcome, the mind that we have to overcome. It's difficult to find the time to do this. It's difficult to focus. So instead of thinking about how difficult it is, you really just want to try and use these techniques to relax. The more you are able to relax your body and your mind, the more relaxed you will feel, your body will feel better, and the more relaxed your mind will be. So the thoughts that come in will easily go away until you really aren't experiencing any thoughts. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go through the meditation techniques, and I'll do that for a few minutes, and then after that, I'd like to encourage everybody to ask questions. Just going to make sure that I covered what I wanted to cover here. So just to get back to a little bit more of the history of it, as I said, it dates back to Shakyamuni Buddha. Currently, our master lives in Taiwan, and he is the 85th patriarch of Chan meditation. We used to call it Zen meditation, but Zen is associated with Japan, and this is not a Japanese meditation technique. This dates back to, it dates back to Buddha. So we've changed the name to Chan several years ago. And I believe the first patriarch of Chan was Bodhidharma. And I believe Bodhidharma was the 25th or 28th. I can't remember exactly, patriarch from Shakyamuni Buddha. So we have Shakyamuni Buddha, number one. Bodhidharma is the first Chan, but the 25th, 28th in line from Shakyamuni Buddha. And then now we're at our 85th patriarch, who lives in Taiwan. And so the lineage dates back all the way to Buddha. We can trace our lineage all the way back. So that's one thing that has really sort of endeared me to this practice, is that I know that it is a pure practice, that it goes all the way back to Buddha. Even though the patriarchs who have come, since then have all put their stamp on it and, adapted it. But nonetheless, so the lineage is very important. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the how to meditate, what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to do, or I think I kind of said that, but let's just go through the techniques. So the first thing we want to do is the proper way to sit. So there are three ways to sit. There is the single lotus, the double lotus, and then just simple Indian style. Simple Indian style, I'll try to change this so you can see my legs, I guess, as best I can. Okay, so this is just simple Indian style. Obviously, I think everybody knows that, hopefully. That's probably not the proper name for it, but so just your legs crossed. That's obviously the easiest method to sit. The second method, which is a little bit more difficult, is single lotus. So with that, I put my right foot or my right leg, my right foot on top of my left leg, just like that. So you can do your right leg on top of your left leg, or you can do your left leg on top of your right leg. That's up to you. So that's the second. And then the third technique is the full lotus. So this is the most efficient. It also may be the most uncomfortable. That really depends on you. I actually used to do double lotus for a while. I was doing that, and then I switched to single lotus, and I have been doing single lotus for a while. But I know that Miao Ming, our teacher, tells us, you might want to try each one. If you can do a single lotus over Indian style, then that is probably better. The efficiency, the least efficient is no lotus, Indian style. Then comes single lotus, and then of course full lotus is the most efficient. And what I mean by efficient is that those are the easiest, it's most efficient posture in order to keep your back straight. So we really, really want to focus on keeping our back straight. So when you're sitting Indian style, it's very easy to bend over, right? Because you're not balanced, right? So let's see. So here I'm sitting Indian style. It's a little bit difficult to keep my back straight. It's a little bit more trying. But of course, my legs are going to bother me less. When I do single lotus, then it's a little bit easier for me to keep my back straight. I am balanced. And then, of course, double lotus, that's the easiest to keep my back straight. So if you try each one of these, you will probably find that as you move up in efficiency, you also move up in pain in your legs. So that is natural. This is something that a lot of people have not done before. And with practice, that certainly will go away. So you can choose which way that you want to sit. I would recommend everybody go ahead and try to sit the way that they want, whether it's no lotus, Indian style, single lotus, or double lotus. I'm going to sit single lotus. Okay. So like I said, the efficiency comes from keeping your back straight. We're trying to focus on our chi, or the energy in our body, to make sure that we can clean that out and it's in a straight line. So if we are bent, then it's a lot more difficult for that chi to move through our body because our body is not straight. So that's why you want to try and keep your body as straight as possible. So you sit in your preferred position. You want to relax your shoulders. It's something that I struggle with even to this day. I still struggle with relaxing my shoulders. Relax your back and try to keep your back as straight as possible. We like to talk about this or compare it to a colossal bell, like a huge, gigantic bell. You want to kind of think about that bell sitting out in the forest, maybe in some grass, and that bell is really, 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 really heavy, and it's just sitting on the grass. Obviously very strong because it's a big, huge metal bell, and so you want to be like that. That's a sort of an analogy that we talk about. Sit like a colossal bell. So you also want to be sitting like a tree, right? Trees are very, very straight. Like we often like to think of, I guess, evergreens or pine trees, how they're very, very, very tall, rooted in the ground very strongly, very straight. So when we think about sitting, we want to sit like a colossal bell and keep our back as straight as a pine tree. Those are two analogies that we use. So that is the way to sit. We also have mudras, or ways that we keep our hands together. The meditation mudra, and I'll put this back a little bit. You want to have your right hand on top of your left hand, and then you want your fingers not to touch, but to almost touch. Just a little tiny bit of space in between, almost like you could stick a piece of paper in there. Just kind of float your fingers between each other, and you want to place that right down into your lap. Mine is there on top of my my legs. So I'm sitting single lotus, and I have my diamond, my meditation mudra, right hand over left hand, fingers just to the point where they're almost touching, but they are not touching. So certainly through your practice, or as you're meditating, your fingers will probably inevitably touch, and that's fine. It's just like thoughts, where you have a thought and you acknowledge it and let it go by just like a cloud. This is the same idea. If you touch, acknowledge it, and then just separate. There's nothing wrong with these hindrances coming up through your meditation. As you practice, you will get better at it, and you will have hopefully less hindrances. Okay, so there are a couple of other things. You also want to, so now I have my legs crossed, and I have my meditation mudra with my right hand over my left hand, and my thumbs just touching but not touching, and that's resting in my lap. Make sure that my back is straight. Shoulders should be relaxed. If you can straighten your back and relax it, that's best. We're trying to relax as much as we possibly can here. That's really the goal. Focused relaxation. So that really brings up the importance of focus. Focus is obviously extremely important. We want to try to focus on our breathing, and I'll get to that in 1 second. So the other thing that we do, physical form, is with our tongue, you want to curl your tongue and place it towards the back top of your mouth. If you go straight up, you'll feel a sort of hard area. If you go a little bit farther back, you'll feel a softer, more kind of bumpy area. So you want to try to put your tongue curled in that back area. And again, you want to try to keep it just away from the top of your mouth. So just like your thumbs are touching but not touching, same thing with your tongue. The tongue should be touching but not touching the back of the top of your mouth. Okay, so those are three of the things that are important. Sitting properly. We have our meditation mudra, tongue towards the back of our mouth, the top of our mouth. And then we have what we do at the very beginning before we meditate is we do the diamond lotus mudra. And I will show you this. This is take your right hand and put it over your left hand, like this. And you want the thumb, the back of the thumb, this area right here of the thumb, to touch your heart. And then you want to bring that up and touch your forehead. And then you want to bring that down, and then you take a bow. So that is called the Diamond Lotus Mudra. That is how we begin meditation, and that is how we will end meditation. Okay, so those are the physical forms, the physical things that we do. I mean, breathing is a physical thing too, but I will talk about that in a minute, separate from this. So just to review those 4 things, you want to sit the way that you want to sit. I'm sitting single lotus. You want to, first what we're going to do is when we get to meditation, in a few minutes, I guarantee you I will stop talking. We will begin with the Diamond Lotus Mudra. We will come up to the middle of our forehead, come back down so that the thumb touches our heart, and then we will take our bow. We will already be in our seated position. If you want to switch to the seated position right now that you are most comfortable with, you can do that to get a little bit used to it. After we do the Diamond Lotus Mudra, then we will switch to Meditation Mudra with my right hand over my left hand, fingers touching but not touching. I will place that in my lap, making sure that my back is straight, my shoulders are relaxed. And then I will curl my tongue to the back and roof of my mouth in the back area. There's a hard area right above, just behind that. It gets a little bumpy. That's where you want to put your tongue. And then we get into the actual breathing techniques. So what we are practicing here is belly breathing. I think a lot of us are used to breathing with our chests. So we're not here to breathe with our chests. We are trying to use our bellies. So when we inhale, our belly should go outwards. And when we exhale, our belly should go inwards. And we want to use our nose to breathe. Obviously, we can't use our mouth to breathe if our tongue is curled. So you want to just go ahead and when you breathe in, try to expand your belly as much as you can. And then when you breathe out, contract your belly. And when we're doing this, we really want to try to have an equal amount of breath out to breath in. And we want to do this slowly. So breathe in. Your stomach contracts. And then breathe out. So let's just try that a couple of times. Breathe in. Stomach contracts. I'm sorry. You breathe in and your stomach expands. And you breathe out. Your stomach contracts. So you might find that you're doing the opposite. That when you inhale, your stomach contracts, and when you exhale, your stomach expands. So if you find that you're doing that, then correct it. So let's just try it a couple of times. Let's go ahead and breathe in. And when you breathe in, go ahead and expand your stomach. And when you breathe out, go ahead and contract your stomach. Make sure that your breath out is your breath in. I kind of like to think about it like a belly dancer, but instead of going from side to side, you're going front and back. I mean, a belly dancer's movement of the stomach is a little bit more than what we're looking for, but it just seems to me like a pretty good analogy. So that is really the essence of what we're trying to do, is really focus on our breathing and just make sure that our breathing is slow, that it's soft, that it's deep, and that it's long. Another one of our teachers likes to use the 4 letters SSDL. which stands for breathing should be soft, smooth, deep, and long. And I've been doing this for 20 years, but I still sometimes recite that in my head just to make sure that I am slowing my breathing. Okay, so just to kind of put that all together, I know it kind of sounds like a lot of information. Just to go over the sort of basics of that again, one more time. Make sure that you're sitting Indian style, single lotus or half lotus. Indian style, single lotus or full lotus. Make sure that you're holding your meditation mudra. Make sure that your tongue is in the back of your head. The top of your roof of your mouth. And then when you breathe, make sure that you're breathing slowly, smoothly, deeply, and long. So there are two parts of meditation that we are trying to overcome. Obviously, the way that our body feels and the way that our mind feels. So as we breathe, we want to try and relax the body first as much as we can. I find in my practice that usually it takes me 20 to 30 minutes to relax my body. What that means is that you don't have any movement in your body, you don't have any discomfort, any pain, and these things are going to come. But what you want to do is just focus on your breathing. If you continuously focus on your breathing, then the pain, the discomfort of the body or in the body will go away. And of course, like anything, the more that you practice, the easier it will become on your body. The other part is the mind. I find that usually I can get my body calmed down in about 20 or 30 minutes, and then it probably takes me about another 20 or 30 minutes to get my mind to the point where it's not racing, where the thoughts are not coming in cloud after cloud after cloud after cloud. It's almost like the clouds have stopped and now there's a blue sky. So by that time, that's an hour. So sometimes I personally feel like though I am meditating 1 hour daily, that's not enough. Because what we're really trying to do is get to that point where we are, our body is comfortable, our mind is comfortable, and we are so relaxed that we can really let go of everything and achieve a deep meditation. I will admit, usually or often, recently, I've been going past the hour, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, because I just know that I need at least 5 to 10 minutes of the blue sky. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I've talked for quite a long time. So let's go ahead and do some questions. The way these questions are going to work, you're going to go ahead and put them on the chat, just type them in real quick, and Andrew, our host, will relay them to me, and then I will do my best to answer the questions. I encourage questions. Yes, so if there are any questions, you can go ahead and ask them now. Do you have any questions about, the history of Zen or Chan, or what little I know about it, my experiences, why I've kept up with it, anything that I haven't addressed? I usually ask questions just because I know somebody has a question, but they may be a little bit timid to ask. So. No questions? Are we not having any questions, Andrew? I don't see anything. I guess I can.
Yeah, I don't see any questions. Yeah.
Okay, I can look at the
So
chat.
far, yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just give it a couple more minutes, or a minute, a little bit. Nobody has questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, so well, let's go ahead and I'm going to lead you guys through the meditation again. We'll do everything that I just talked about, but we'll actually try to meditate, or we will meditate, not try. I hope that everyone can stay on as long as they can. So I'll guide us through it, and try to first start off just kind of calming our body down. And then once we do that, we can try to, calm our minds down. And then I will stop at some point, and the class will continue. So we will be online until 9:10, I believe. The class is over officially at 9. So once we start meditating, please stay on for the guided meditation part. And then when I stop, you're welcome to continue meditating as long as you would like. You can leave the meeting at any time. Just please quietly do so. We have these classes going on now every day. I would encourage all of you to, maybe watch some more of our classes. Tomorrow's class is going to be led by our instructor, Miao Ming. He is we have a meditation retreat center in LJ, Georgia, just north of Atlanta, about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. So he will be teaching from there. Our meditation center there is open to the public. You can go there, and there is meditation daily in the morning. There's a class there on Tuesdays, I believe, as well. And you can, of course, seek out more meditation with our teacher there. It's a really beautiful place. We have a lot of apartments. I believe we can comfortably accommodate about 100 people there. It's right at the base of the Appalachian Trail, so it's quite beautiful. A lot of other stuff to do besides meditation there. We have several apartments there, so you can go, and I believe you just pay nightly, I think $30 or $50 at the most, I believe, a night for a bed in one of the rooms, and each apartment has its own kitchen. So we don't offer food there, but you can do your own cooking and everything. So that is open to everyone. For more information on that, you can privately text me or Facebook me or whatever, or just go to heartchan.org, and you can fill out an application to go there. But it's really, really, really nice. And we do have retreats there every year. Obviously, there was supposed to be one coming up in July, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But certainly when all things get back to normal, we will start those up again. So, okay, so it's 8:15. So let's go ahead and do some meditation. Everybody, please go ahead and sit in your preferred position. Indian style, single lotus or double lotus. I'm in single lotus. Go ahead and make sure that your back is straight. So I did forget to say that during meditation, we do keep our eyes closed, obviously, or maybe not so obvious. There are other types of meditation, but where your eyes are open, but for this, our eyes will be closed. So make sure that you're sitting in your most comfortable, or most efficient and comfortable style of sitting. Make sure that your back is straight, shoulders are relaxed, and go ahead and curl your tongue so that the tip of your tongue is touching the back area and the top roof of your mouth where it's a little bit soft. You want to be touching and not touching. So let's go ahead and do the Diamond Lotus Mudra, which we do at the beginning of meditation and the end. So go ahead and take your right hand, and put your left hand up. Go ahead and take your right hand and put it over the thumb over your left hand. Put your right thumb over your left thumb. Your hands are together. Go ahead and with the middle part of your thumb, touch the center of your chest, close to your heart. Go ahead and take the Diamond Lotus Mudra up to your forehead so that the middle part of your thumb is touching your forehead. Go ahead and come back down. Your thumb should be touching the center of your chest again, close to your heart, and sincerely take a bow. Okay, at this point, everybody's eyes should be closed. So we should be sitting comfortably. Back straight, shoulders relaxed, tongue, roof of your mouth touching but not touching. Let's go ahead and take our hands and change to the meditation mudra. Put your right hand over your left hand. Your thumbs should be touching and not touching, as if you could get a little slice of paper right in between them. And then go ahead and put your meditation mudra in your lap. So let's try and focus on our breathing. Remember, when we take a breath in, our belly expands. When we breathe out, our belly contracts. We should breathe in the same amount of air that we are breathing out. To help you balance this out, you can count. You can count 1, 2, 3, however many seconds you want when you breathe in and your belly expands, and then do the same number of seconds when you breathe out. You just want to do this a little bit. When we are actually meditating, it's best not to count. You really want to try to let go of everything. You don't want to have any music around or any of that stuff. So let's just try to breathe a little bit for this way to get used to it. Remember the 4 letters S, S, D, L. Your breathing should be soft, smooth, deep, and long. So now that you've done a little bit of breathing, let's focus a little bit on trying to relax our body. One way that our teacher Mao Mien has been explaining it is you want to go ahead and try and pick a point at the very top of your head. Very, very, very top of your head in the middle. almost as if you would just take your finger and touch the top of your head in the middle. So you want to try to just focus on that little area. And you know that you've got skin there and stuff there. So we want to try to just think of that area being filled with water. So there's just a little bit of water right there at the top of our heads. So our head isn't so hard right now because there's a little bit of water there, so it's softening. So you can think about this water as just beginning to soften the hardness of your head. And then you can feel that water go down through your head to your ears. You can really feel the water softening your ears. And then going down to the neck. Your neck area becomes softer. Head is tilted just a little tiny bit forward. Then we can feel the water continue to our shoulders. Our shoulders begin to soften. The softening continues down our arms to our elbows, all the way down to our hands. It also continues through our back. We want to try to soften and relax our back as best we can. The water continues to go down your back to the bottom of the back. And then to your waist. Moves through our legs, down to our knees, and then down the rest of our legs. To our ankles, through our feet, to our toes. So you can continue this cycle of body relaxation by doing the same thing. Start at the top of your head again and work your way down through your body. You can try to visualize your ears and your neck and your back and just everything getting more and more relaxed. So you can continue this cycle as many times as you want. And each time you do it, you should become more relaxed. So let's try to relax our body for a couple minutes or so, and then we will continue the guided meditation. Again, you can start at the top of your head. Pretend that there's water there at the top of your head, making the top of our hard head just a little bit softer. And then it works its way downward through the head to the neck. The ears become nice and comfortable, relaxed. The neck is slightly at a 45-degree incline towards the front of you. It becomes very relaxed. The water continues to our shoulders, down through our arms, to our fingertips. Continues down our back to the bottom of our back, to our waist, through the legs, through the thighs, to the bottom of the legs, to our ankles, through our feet, and to our toes. You can continue back to the top of your head if you would like. We also want to be mindful of the thoughts that are entering our mind. We don't want to block them out. We don't want to search for thoughts. As thoughts come in, we want to welcome them, acknowledge them like a cloud, let them float by. Always returning to our breathing. If you become distracted with your body or your mind, you always return to your breathing. SSDL. Soft, smooth, deep, and long. So for the rest of the class, go ahead and meditate yourself. I will stay on here for the remainder of the class. If you would like to stay on and meditate, that would be wonderful. If you want to leave the class at any point, that is fine as well. And again, just to quickly review, make sure that you are seated in a lotus position. You are holding your meditation mudra, thumbs not touching but touching, right hand over left hand. Your tongue should be curled towards the back of your mouth, touching but not touching. We should sit like a colossal bell. Our back should be relaxed and straight. We want to focus entirely on our breathing. When we breathe in, our stomach contracts. When we breathe in, our stomach expands. When we breathe out, our stomach contracts. Breathe in, our stomach expands. Breathe out, our stomach contracts.